Hey y'all, it's Mia Marsicano, and if you don't know me, hey. If you're coming from like my Instagram or YouTube Shorts or wherever you're coming from, hey. And if you do know me, hey. I'm doing a Q&A today because I haven't done one in like months, and you guys asked me really good questions, and nothing is off limits. I wrote down a list of a bunch of them, just as many as I could like write down until the page got full, so I'm just gonna read them. They're anonymous, so don't worry if you asked something, but nothing's like bad. But yeah, I'm talking about like food, relationships, health, career, life. I'm having like one of the biggest transformations of my life right now, and it's crazy and I don't know how to process it, and life is just really interesting. So I'm like, I don't even know how to begin to talk about it. So here's some answered questions if you care about my life, which is really cool that you do. Thanks. Okay, to start with a deep one right off the bat, because hello. Someone asked, coming out of food restriction, orthorexia / good relationship with food, exercise, and mindset. Yeah, wow. I have so much to say about this, and I know a lot of people follow me for my food videos, which I didn't expect to get big at all, and all of my like what I eat in a day have like millions and millions of views, and it's so crazy to me because I just get the most amazing DMs of people telling me that like it helped them with their relationship with food and stuff, and I feel like I've built kind of like a community around girls that want to eat normal, you know. And if you don't get it, you don't get it, and it's okay. But I like struggled with, and I hate to say struggled, but if there's anything I've ever struggled with, it was like my relationship with food from like COVID until like 2 years ago. And with like, I mean, eating disorder is always like, it always is kind of a little thing, and then it kind of happens. I feel like, at least within my case, like it's always been like kind of planted seeds, and then you really get it. Like what I was saying, I struggled with food for a long time, and I can finally come to a place where I feel like this is like no light thing to say, I truly feel like I have 95% healed my relationship with food entirely. And that's almost unheard of. I feel like coming out of an eating disorder, people always say that like it always stays with you, and it always is going to exist in you for the rest of your life, which is, you can choose for that to be true. I'm just gonna, I could be in denial about it, but I'm just gonna choose for that to not be my reality, because I have taken such steps to heal it and to consciously get myself out of it and like build the new neural pathways and to dead the other ones of all the horrible ways that I used to think about food and what I could and couldn't do at certain times with certain calories, with certain ingredients. And it's just like, it's such a prison in your brain. But I could talk about that forever. Let me reread the question. I think there's a million things I could say, but to start, like, you have to truly be ready to heal. And I know that sounds weird, but like you have to be ready to take the dedication to do the hard things of and I don't like to say that it's hard, but it wasn't easy, reprogramming your brain to become the healed version of you that doesn't have the problems with eating. You have to adapt and adopt an entirely new belief system and ways that you act. Like you have to change your actions, therefore changing your entire identity. And I know that sounds weird and scary, but like it's changing into the best possible version of you that you would want to be. So, you know, in terms of what the girl was asking me with coming out of food restriction, just think about it in the way that's like, am I really gonna go my entire life without eating these certain things that I've deemed as bad for whatever reason because of the calories or ingredients? Like, am I really gonna restrict myself my entire life? Do I deserve to restrict this thing that I want for my whole life? Why would I be restricting myself, you know? And like break it down in your brain of like, this is something that is made up in my head, that I've made up, a limitation that I've made up. There's no rule that I can't have this brownie. It is entirely in my brain that I can't have it for this, and this reason, you know? But yeah, I could talk about it forever. If you ask like more specific questions, I can say exactly what I mean by that. But just being willing and ready to heal and actually make the decisions and to do the things that it takes and to kill the belief system in your head, because it's entirely a voice and a belief system that is bull, you know? Anyways, next question. Someone said a place in Asia you'd like to travel to. I've always wanted to go to Japan, like Tokyo, but every time I think I want to travel somewhere and it's like a city, I just think like how much better it would be if it was like a tropical island. So then I instantly divert. I've always like really wanted to go to Bali and Thailand. Basic kind of, but I see the most like beautiful stuff there, and I've always wanted to go there. And Tokyo. I wanted to go to Tokyo for the longest time. I had like a weird fixation for Tokyo in high school. This girl said practical tips on people pleasing, and I didn't realize how much that would like resonate with people, and I appreciate that it does, because I like knowing that I'm not like speaking into an echo chamber, you know? As for practical tips on people pleasing, I used to be the like biggest pushover my whole life. Like I just remember like being a shell of a human because I just wanted people to like me so bad, you know? I don't know, to give like tips on people pleasing, just think to yourself, like, I'm not going to laugh if something isn't funny. I'm not going to just ask someone a question out of thinking that they'll like me more because of asking it. Or as for like when someone asks you to do something, I used to always like create space a little bit and be like, do I actually want to do this? Because I'm not going to say yes if I don't want to do it. And then you kind of feel guilty because you feel like you are obliged to someone to do something. And I just mean like in terms of something light, like an activity or an event or just anything that you could be invited to, you know? Like you don't owe anyone anything. And if you are going there when you don't want to go or doing it when you don't want to do it, you are like, that's weakening the relationship with yourself. And your relationship with yourself should matter the most in order to give other people the best version of yourself. So you should take that space and be like, do I actually want to do this? Okay, yes, I do. Or no, I don't. And then that's when you just say like, I'm sorry, it just doesn't fit in my schedule right now. Or you just say like, I just don't have a desire to do that. Like I started saying to people, and younger me would like have like shaken about this, but I started literally just saying like, I just have no desire to do that. I'm sorry. And nobody's ever taken it in a bad way because they're like, real, like, that's okay, you know? Because anyone that is actually like a real friend and a good aligned person to you is gonna hear that you just don't want to do it, and that should be enough of a reason to not want to do something because because I don't want to. Next, you know? Because then it's like you know, and then you create this reputation where like with your friends and yourself that like if you're somewhere it's because they know you want to be there, and it's a strong bond with yourself, and it's like it's hot to be like having strong boundaries and to say no to things, you know? Like I'm very a type of person that's like say yes to everything, but like to a certain extent the things that you want to say yes to, you know? So yeah, that's like a small tip on people pleasing, which sounds so light, like, you know, ask yourself if you want to do something before you do it, but everything is that deep, and everything is that deep to me, at least, you know. Someone said any foreseen downsides to traveling a lot. Probably the radiation, if I'm being honest. Like I don't even want to know. I used to get pat downs in the airport until I was like 16 or 17, which is absolutely crazy. But yeah, definitely the radiation is probably somewhat getting to me. That's where I just like protect my peace and act like it's not. So I'd say that's like a downside to traveling for sure. And just like you can't get settled into a sense of like routine when you're traveling so much. By you I mean me. But if you're flexible, it's okay. And I have built the self-trust with myself where like I know if I'm traveling I'm still gonna choose the healthy options. I'm not gonna give it an excuse to eat a bunch of crappy food and not work out. You know, I'm still gonna like do what makes me feel good, so I still feel okay with always traveling. But a downside can just be like, you know, not able to have such a good routine because your life is super flexible. But yeah. Next question, hair care wrecks while bleaching it. Yeah, my hair is super, if you can see my natural hair color, like it is very much brown. And I used to not have this healthy of hair ever. I didn't think I would ever get back to this because I had horrible, I'll try and insert a picture right here. I had horrible hair a year ago. Like I couldn't bleach it for like 9 months or something, and now it is so huge and perfect, and I love it, and I'm obsessed with it. I'm so happy. And I would say just try not to wash it as much. I wash my hair probably every 4 or 5 days to a week if I can, just because washing strips it so much. And I always use a leave-in conditioner when it's damp after I shower, like always, like since I was 15. I think that's really important just so it's not like dry and brittle and just like, you know. And hair oils are really good too. I use the Moroccan oil hair oil and the Olaplex one. And use a good quality shampoo and conditioner. Like if I could choose to splurge on a few things, it would be a good shampoo and conditioner, because I know a lot of like the drugstore ones will be coated in wax, and I don't know, you don't want those chemicals and those parabens and phthalates just soaking into your scalp. But yeah, always use heat protectant. This is kind of like non-traditional, but I have a bunch of fats. Like I eat a lot of fat. And I think that's also why my hair is so thick and healthy, is because I eat enough, and I eat like fatty stuff like salmon and just as much of healthy fats as I want, and egg yolks and whatnot. So yeah, and just letting it chill. Just, yeah, not washing as much, I'd say, is like the #1 thing. You can't wash your hair a lot. If it's super bleached, it's gonna break off. How tall are you? I'm 5'10" and a half, more like 5'10.7-ish. Some people think I'm 5'11". I'm 5'10" and a half-ish. Where did you used to go to college? I used to go to Florida Atlantic University. It's in Boca Raton, Florida. That's where I am right now. Look how beautiful my backyard is here. Yeah, it's like a fairy dream princess Barbie land here in Boca, and I recommend the college. I dropped out. Like, me being like, I recommend this place, I literally dropped out of it, but yeah, I love it here. It's very perfect. But next question, someone said, any advice for someone who is about to start posting content and looking to grow their page? I could have a whole video about this in itself too. Have a why. Like, I've seen a lot of people post for months and then they kind of just fall off of it, and like friends, I mean, like I'm able to like talk to them about why, and they're just like, I don't know what to post, I just don't know what to do. And I think it's so fun, like being able to like create your own story and film and edit and put things out there. But if you don't have a why, like a core reason for doing it, I think you might get lost with it. And if you don't have your why, it's okay. Just then don't be afraid to like try a bunch of new different types of content out for your, like, find the content that you like, you know, like don't get too attached to your content at all. That was a huge mistake for me. I used to really care that everything was like my big one and everything did so well, but like think about anyone that's successful, that's created a lot of stuff. Like, you're not gonna remember them for their flops, you're gonna remember them for their biggest things. And I'm sure all of these very successful creators have had hundreds and hundreds of articles of work, you know? So don't get too attached to what you're doing and try new things and just have a core purpose of why you're doing it. Whether that be to inspire and motivate people, or to share your healthy recipes, or you have a passion for cooking, so you love cooking and filming videos, so you tie those things in together, or I don't know, you document, you like to talk about crime cases, you keep doing that, you know? You either like have a why or you find it. And yeah, that's why I can recommend like baseline. But in terms of how to grow your page, I say, like, when you find something that works and something that hits the algorithm, keep doing it in different ways. Like, if you know, like for example, when my what I eat in a day videos started doing well, I was like, okay, I know these work and I know that these do well, so I'm gonna keep doing them. Not too often, don't overkill it. When you know something does well, like sprinkle it in because you know that it does well and you know that it performs well. And don't resist repeating things. Like, I know the content of my pilot father does well, so I add that stuff in its own different special way, you know? And realize that like nobody cares about you in the beginning. You know, like you gotta get people's attention first before you can then be boring, if that makes sense. And I don't mean boring, I just mean like nobody's gonna care if it's not something that gives them value or entertains them or makes them feel something. Does that make sense? You need to remember, like watch it as if you were a viewer and be like, does this intrigue me? Because if it doesn't intrigue you and it doesn't interest you, then it probably won't interest other people, you know? Next question, someone said, how did you stop counting calories / macros? My roommate can attest to this. I literally had to take a Sharpie and Sharpie out every single nutrition label of all of my food. I know that sounds extreme and like, dang, but I had to do it, and I had to reprogram myself to not look at the calories before I ate something. So I was like, okay, I'll just force myself to. Took one of those really thick Sharpies, every single snack bar, I would cover it. Granted, like I knew the calories of almost everything, like by the age of like 16, but it was just about like the act of I couldn't check it anymore. I had to get out of that loop of checking it before and hyperfixating on it before I ate it. I just blocked it so that I wouldn't see it. And just remembering like you don't know how many calories your body truly needs on that day. Whether if you're a girl, it's like on your period, you need way more calories than usual. Like, if you extended yourself way further than you did that day on most days, then you're gonna need more calories versus if you were super sedentary the whole day, you know? Like, you don't know what you truly need, so stop counting the calories. It literally doesn't matter. It is a number. It's a number on your food label. Why are you letting that get in between you like eating something? And only saying it like that in that like harsh way because that's how I needed to say it to myself. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, love you so much, it doesn't matter. Like, stop, like get it out of your head, you know? Next question, someone said, have you considered live streaming? If so, what kind of stream content? I've considered like going on Instagram Live or TikTok Live. I think I'm going to soon for fun. But yeah, let me know if that would be something that you guys want, because I don't know, I've never really like gone on live. That'd be funny. Next question, someone said, managing mindset / mental health day to day would be so interesting as well. Thank you. I could have a lot to say about this as well. Like for example, this morning, I literally woke up, and this hasn't happened to me in a long time, but I literally like, I had such horrible thoughts that I didn't want to get out of bed. Like, I was shaking and I felt depressed, and I'm not depressed, and I just literally would not get out of bed, and I forced myself to, and I went to the gym and I listened to this like positive rampage on YouTube, and I took a deep breath and I just started doing my stuff, and it went away. And I was like, oh my god, thank god, because it was such a like dreary dark cloud over me, and I feel like really dark when I feel dark. Like, I feel very, very great and happy most of the time, but that gives me like equal opportunity to be super dark in my head, I guess. And my advice for like helping your mental health on a day-to-day basis would just be like, don't think so much about it, and notice when you're experiencing a mental spiral to stop it. Like you have to like distract yourself and stop it. Like don't let your brain spiral into things that absolutely don't matter and don't benefit you and aren't true. And it's a level of self-awareness that you have to like dog train yourself to be like, no, that's not valid, and I'm not gonna entertain that. No, next, you know, because like I imagine all my thoughts as like clouds if my brain is like a sky, I imagine all the bad clouds, and I'm like, okay, yep, not attaching to that thought, gonna keep letting it pass, like bye. And I do something that makes me feel good. And I think a really good way of managing mental health on a day-to-day basis is waking up, brushing your teeth, putting on gym clothes, and immediately working out, whether that's weightlifting, whether that's going on a walk, like anything, like get up, sunlight on my skin, sunlight in my eyes, and walking. And it's like a world of a difference. So I like highly recommend that. And just realizing that like it's okay throughout your days if you have like a half an hour of anxiety or like an hour of not feeling not so good, and you don't need to make it your entire day, you know, like don't categorize any day as a good or bad day. Like every minute truly is a new minute. Like there is only one current time space reality. Like don't let 10 minutes of a bad day make the whole day scratched, you know? So I really try to get out of my head about that stuff, like when I'm feeling really bad, because then I'll be feeling good the next hour, and I'm like, okay, that's just life, like cry it out and it's okay. You know? And I've become a lot more accepting of letting myself cry, because I've realized that like it helps regulate my nervous system a lot better, and I'm able to just carry on with my day if I like properly release. That sounds weird. Anyways, next question. And last question, someone said, do you have a team that helps you with your content? I only have, I say only like it's not the most amazing thing ever, I only have my manager Peyton. I'm signed to Select Media Management, and she is like getting on my knees like amazing. Like I love her so much. We just got off of the phone for like half an hour. She helps me with ideas and like things that she thinks I should do more of or less of, or things to put in or things to include. But primarily like I do all my editing, I do all my filming, I voice over everything. I'm about to edit this video. I got this camera 2 years ago for Christmas. I got my laptop in like high school. It kind of sucks, but it does the job, and I film and edit all my own stuff, and I come up with all my own stuff. And it's pretty easy because I just have so much to say all the dang time. So I'm like, if I have ears, like that's really cool. And I have like feel like I've created such a cool community of people that align with me really well. So if you're here, thank you. And yeah, that's my team. It's just Peyton, and I love her to death, and she's perfect, and I'm so grateful, seriously. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate that you guys even care to ask questions. And yeah, let me know if you want to see anything else from me. I'm gonna be like full swing back in YouTube again now that I'm like here and able to create. And I have really exciting news that's coming soon, which is really crazy to even say. And I'm like, I don't know, I'm like gatekeeping it right now because I'm not like ready to talk about it, but I have crazy good news and it's coming. Yeah, thank you for being here, and I appreciate you. And yeah, okay, bye. I hope you do something that makes you happy today, because you deserve it, not to be so freaking corny. Jeez. Bye.